Have you ever met someone who seemed almost too easy to date? They text when they say they will. You don't screenshot the message and ask a friend what okay means. If they make plans for Saturday, you don't have to wait until Saturday morning to find out whether those plans still exist. You don't go to bed wondering whether something has changed since yesterday. There is attraction. You genuinely enjoy their company. You can be yourself around them without wondering whether you're saying the right thing. But somewhere between the reliable phone calls and the plans that actually do happen, a thought begins to creep in. Why don't I feel more? Maybe you expect to miss them more. Maybe you expect to think about them all day. Maybe love is supposed to interrupt your concentration occasionally. Shouldn't there be some urgency to it? And when there isn't, we make a surprisingly serious conclusion. Perhaps this isn't love, but how did we decide what love was supposed to feel like in the first place? We weren't born expecting butterflies. We weren't born knowing that longing was romantic, that being unable to concentrate meant someone mattered, or that love should occupy our thoughts from morning until night. We learned what closeness felt like long before we had a word for romance. And for many of us, those first lessons didn't happen on a date. They happened at home. Think about an ordinary childhood evening. For some children, they hear the front door open. Before the person entering the house has even spoken, the child is listening. How hard did the door close? How are they walking? What expression is on their face? Is tonight a night when you can ask for something? Or is tonight a night when you should stay out of the way? A child who does this repeatedly becomes remarkably good at noticing small changes. A shorter answer, a different tone, a face that suddenly looks distant. You learn that closeness requires observation. Psychiatrist John Bowlby's attachment theory helps explain why these early experiences matter. Children develop expectations about whether other people will be available, responsive, and safe when they need them. Those expectations don't simply disappear when childhood ends. Years later, the front door may have been replaced by a phone screen, but you may still be watching. They normally send a goodnight message. Tonight they didn't. Yesterday they used a heart. Today they wrote, okay. You notice immediately. For someone else, these are insignificant. For you, they can feel like information. Because somewhere along the way, paying attention became part of loving someone. When closeness in childhood regularly came with unpredictability, changing moods, withdrawal, conflict, or having to watch carefully for how someone might respond, that emotional pattern can become familiar. Later, a relationship without that same level of emotional activity may feel strangely flat at first. There may be attraction. You may enjoy being with the person. You may even feel completely yourself around them. But without the anticipation, uncertainty, or emotional highs you have learned to associate with closeness, you may find yourself asking, where is the spark? That doesn't mean everyone raised around unpredictability will experience relationships this way. But attachment research gives us one explanation for why, for some people, what feels familiar can be easier to recognize than what feels secure. But attachment and familiarity are only part of the explanation. Because two people can enter your life at exactly the same time. One can be consistent, interested, and emotionally available. The other can leave you waiting, wondering and unsure. And strangely, it may be the second person you can't stop thinking about. That's where things get really interesting, and that's what we'll look at in part 2.